All right, so we're inside our inbox cleaner and especially email classification system here. Now, I've uploaded a very similar video before, which was just the inbox cleaner, was essentially a fancy spam filter. And to be honest, since rewatching the video and looking at it a bit more, it was kind of mid. It was good, it worked, I guess, but there was a lot that was still missing that we could have done that now we've gone back and actually done for the client. And he is out of the world. He's really happy with how it works, especially because of how simple it is for them and how easy it is to get it all set up. So what it does is essentially send, whenever an email comes in, it checks, is this spam or is this a duplicate email? Have we seen this before? If not, it puts this in the useful filter. And as soon as that's the case, before that it's just spam, then it doesn't matter. It gives it an AI tag and puts it away, gone. If it is seen as useful, it doesn't just end here now. It's actually classified as either one of 4 different categories, and it's given a usefulness score, or urgency score rather, from 1 to 4. So 1 not being urgent at all, we can take our time, or 4, this is extremely urgent. And what this does is let us be able to know, okay, what is urgent, what is not, and we can actually also filter inside HubSpot or whatever CRM you're using for these urgent or specific category-sized filters and tickets, so we can work on essentially the most important stuff first, which I think most companies want. You don't want to waste time on the stuff that's not important anyways. You want to spend time on what is important, where you're kind of worried customers will freak out, what's really needed. So let's actually test this out and send an email here that I've pre-done. So we'll send this off, and within a few minutes, I'll let you know what has happened. All right, so only about 10 to 15 seconds later, we now see this email here, which thankfully wasn't classified as spam because I made it based off of another email that wasn't classified as spam, so this one should have technically worked, which it did nicely. And now if we check inside the executions for what has just run at 10:54, as we've seen it just finished up working, we could see what actually happened. Now, we can see clearly it wasn't censored as spam, which we can see here actually with the data redaction. So this is the first system that redacts the data. It goes through everything that could be important, like a contract number, like anything else that's important. Here, a marked location and a mess location, which is here seen as a phone number, which seems wrong, but it still works because it counts the mess location and the phone number as the same thing because the numbers work in the same way. And so now from here, this is passed brought on to OpenAI, where it then checks, okay, based on everything I've seen, based on the redacted data especially, this is seen as useful, passed on. Then if it wasn't seen as useful, it would be just put directly into this pipeline that then updates the ticket as finished. So we won't classify it as spam because there's a bit of an issue with HubSpot there, just how their systems work. So it's easier to just put it as finished, closed, and give it a little AI tag that just makes sure we know, okay, this is AI closed. So maybe if there is an error, we can check those. Usually there isn't. However, in this case, it worked fine. So it's brought on as useful. And now this is where the fun stuff begins. We actually look through the ticket and decide, okay, which one is it? Is it a product issue that's being said here, that's being called out? Is it a billing issue, a feature request maybe? Is it a general inquiry? Anything that for us really can come in form of a ticket is seen here as one of the options. And then after that, we're giving it an urgency score of low, medium, high, or urgent, which is also very important because then we can decide, okay, how important really is this? And so here you can see the output was classification, general inquiry, yes, that should be correct, and then urgency, low, so it isn't that urgent. And now if we check inside of help desk, inside HubSpot, we can see, first off, priority is low, correct, and then category is actually general inquiry. So this makes sense. If we now check it out this does make sense. It's a German email because it's for a German company. I can't say the name, unfortunately. But this all seems to work perfectly well. From there, we just classify it as the one that we put it as. So if it isn't equal, or if it is equal to any classification that we don't have, it's classified as hello, essentially. And this is a very important thing, because we actually tell it in the prompt before that if it isn't 100% sure, or rather if it isn't 90% sure about the email content, about what the classification or the urgency could be, that it classifies the urgency as 10, so something that doesn't exist in our system, and the classification as hello, which also doesn't exist. And this just makes it that if that happens, and here in our if node it's classified as hello, then it just ends and it goes to true, and nothing happens with the ticket. We don't touch it, our system leaves it alone for any operations team member to check out, which is perfectly fine, because it doesn't need to work on every single one of the tickets. As long as it works on 90-95% of them, that is perfect. And then here you can see if it is false and it actually does classify it as a urgency and a classification, then it updates the ticket urgency and classification right here. And as we saw just now in help desk, this works perfectly fine. So that is our new and improved system version that is GDPR compliant, that does everything that you would want it to do with your inbox. We got a lot of requests saying, hey, could we have this be classified? Could we have an urgency score? We want to filter for different emails. We want to know which ones are actually important and which ones are less important. And we want to be able to redact certain information, which is all done automatically through code, so that we don't need to worry about any compliance issues, any regulatory problems. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this. I hope you can use this for your own company maybe. And if you want, especially this to be built for you, we are always open to work. We have around 5 to 6 slots open right now for clients that we could work with. If you want to book a quick strategy call, you can do that over our website using the book call function. We'd be happy to talk at any time you want, or rather any time that's open here. And if you want to just send us a quick email with any inquiry, anything you want, you can send that to us. The email will be in the biography of the LinkedIn, or somewhere on my LinkedIn. You'll find it. All right, thank you very much for watching. I'm looking forward to posting new videos and eventually even maybe working together. And with that being said, see you around.